My brother, a blessing that you are not ready for is a curse. A blessing, a good thing that you are not ready to handle is actually not a good thing. It's a curse. So many of us, myself included, even to this day, we will kind of get kind of petty with God, kind of mad with God, and be like, why is my job not paying me more? Why did I not get a promotion? Why is my business not succeeding how I want it to? Why is this girl that I want not liking me back? Why can't I find a girl that I want to pursue? And, why is it that I can't get this thing that I want in life? You fill in the blank. And part of us, maybe consciously, maybe subconsciously, we look at God and we're like, man, I'm your boy. Like, why are you not, you're supposed to be God, like the giver of all good things. Like, why are you not hooking me up here? I've waited, I've been patient, kind of. I've been praying, I've been seeking, I've been asking, I've been knocking. And you say you're going to deliver, but I'm feeling kind of left out. Like, he's got it, she's got it, they've got it. Why don't I don't have it? Like, and as a matter of fact, I feel like I'm doing better than they are, like spiritually, but they have it and I don't have it. What's going on? I feel like I've got something legit to give, but they don't, but yet they're getting good things in return and I'm not. And David was there too, the psalmist. He's many more things than that, but in the Psalms, he's saying, I looked at the wicked, fact check, I'm not sure if this was David actually, but the psalmist says, I was looking at the wicked and I kind of got jealous. He said their eyes are bulging with abundance, because back then being fat was like a status symbol because it means you were eating. And it's like they're bulging with abundance. They don't seem like they have a care in the world. But then I got my priorities right, and I'm paraphrasing. So this is a tale as old as time, is those of us that are wanting things in life, success in the business, a wife, better relationship, a better marriage, all these different things. And we get a little bit upset with God. We start to doubt his goodness. And guys, I'm not above this at all. And I've been convicted of this recently in my own life. But the truth that we got to keep coming back to is a blessing that you're not ready for isn't a blessing. It's a curse. Think about the lottery winners. And we all think we would be different too, don't we? We all think we would be different. And some of us might. But a blessing you're not ready for is a curse. And I want to lock in. If you don't have the attention span of a goldfish and you want to actually dive in to the realities of how this plays out, Jesus spoke to this. Now, guys, sometimes God will bring in things into your life that you're not ready for or that are just straight up not good, but he's using them for your good, right? That does happen, okay? That's not what this is about. This is about a good thing that you want that you're just not ready for. Okay, so we're going to lock in on a passage today, Matthew chapter 25, and this is from verses 14 through 30. And you guys can follow along or you can look it up later. I'm going to skim through this and call out some key points. So I want you guys to be studiers of the word yourself. Don't take it all from me. But I think if you do study, you'll see what I'm saying here. He's likening this story to the kingdom of heaven. He says, the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country who called to himself his servants and delivered his goods to them. So he's leaving, he's going away, and before he met, and back then it wasn't like you fly across the ocean real quick to another country. When you go to another country, a far country, you're gone for a while, right? It's a long process. So he's distributing his goods to his servants so that they can be managed while he's gone. And right, this is a direct parallel to you and I. The Lord has given us gifts. Talents, what's funny is in this, it's like talent is not really a talent like we think of it. It's like money. But the same is true for our talents. So check this out. And to one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and another 1. So right off the bat, it's not equal, guys. It's not equal. Life is not equal. And because of sin, it's not always fair either. A lot of times it is fair, because fair and equal are different, right? It's definitely not equal. It's often not fair. But this is a case of it being fair. Why? We see in verse 15, he says, to each according to his own ability. So the master is giving his servants talents to manage in his absence, according to his own ability. Guys, a lot of us think we're like that, but we're not. A lot of us are jealous of the 5-talent guy when we're the 2-talent guy or the 1-talent guy. And we're like, why can't I have it like he has it? Well, part of it could be the curse of the fall and sin and the effects of sin just making life not fair. Okay? But I want you to know God is not up there in heaven looking down at his sons, which if you're watching this, you're probably one of his sons. He's not looking down at us and saying, I see Stephen. I see Rob. I see Joseph. Yeah, they're crushing it. They're my adopted, beloved sons. And they're totally ready for this blessing that they've been praying for 3 years. But I'm not going to give it to them. I'm going to make them wait. It's kind of fun for me to watch them wait. He doesn't do that. He's a good father. He's a good father. Jesus says, hey, if your kid asks you for a fish, are you going to give him a snake? If he asks you for a loaf of bread, are you going to give him a stone? No, of course not. And I walk my clients through this too. I'm like, if your kid asks you for something, are you going to give it to him if he's ready for it? And they're like, sure. I said, why? What did he have to prove to you? And they say, nothing. He didn't have to prove anything to me. Why? Why doesn't your kid have to prove something to you to be the recipient of your generosity? Well, it's because he's your son. That's it. And you're in the same boat, bro. You and I are in the same boat. You don't have to prove anything to God to be worthy of all of his blessings. Why? Not because of anything you did, not because of you earning it, but because of the work of Christ on the cross. Redeeming you, buying you in blood, adopting you into the family of God. You are a son, and thus you are worthy of all the generosity of your Heavenly Father, of our Heavenly Father. He's ready to dump it on you. But a blessing you're not ready for is a curse. Watch this. One got 5 talents, one got 2, one got 1, each according to his own ability. Guys, if you're going to fumble the bag, he's not going to give you the bag. Why? Because he's smart. He wants to steward his blessings wisely, and he wants you to steward his blessings wisely, and he doesn't want to make your life more miserable. Because a blessing you're not ready for is a curse. Watch what happens. Verse 16, he who had received the 5 talents went and traded with them and made another 5 talents. And likewise, he who had received 2 gained 2 more also. So the master was smart. He identified the abilities of his servants. He said, I'm thinking 5 for you. I'm thinking 2 for you. And boom, boom, he was on it. But he who had received the 1 talent, this is verse 18, he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his Lord's money. So the guy who got 1 talent, check this, he did nothing. He did nothing with it. And guys, spoiler alert, that's why he got 1 talent, is because the master knew, I can't trust this homie with 5. And sure enough, think about it. What if he would have given the homie 5? He probably would have buried those, or worse. Again, it's like the lotto winners. These people that are buying all these lottery tickets, what are the odds that they also have a good budget? What are the odds that they also don't have a bunch of credit card debt? What are the odds that they also are investing every month in a 401k or similar? What are the odds that all that's taking place and they just happen to be paying for lottery tickets every day or every week? The odds are low, right? Which is why we see them unable to handle all of that money. But of course, what do we all say? But if I won the lottery, right? It's the same logic. But if I went to that college where those people were, or if I had this kind of business opportunity, if I had those kind of connections that this guy does, oh my gosh, it'd be game over. If I was just 5'11 instead of 5'8, game over. Oh, if I had a slightly better looking face, oh, it'd be over. Y'all would all be cooked. If my genetics weren't blah, 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 and we play these games, and the master knows. The master looks at us and says, I'm going to give you gifts according to your ability. So after a long time, verse 19, the Lord of the servants comes back and settles accounts. It's like time to settle up. He who had received 5 talents came and brought the other 5. And verse 21, the Lord said, good job. I will make you, he said, you were faithful over a few things, and I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Same process, exact same process with the guy who doubled up from 2. But then, verse 24, we come to the 1, and y'all lock in for this because this is scarcity mindset. This is something that I deal with. This is something I know you all deal with sometimes too. Some of us more than others. The 1 talent guy comes up and says, Lord, I knew that you were a hard man. And check this out. Really pay attention here. I knew that you were a hard man, reaping where you have not sown and gathering where you have not scattered seed. Okay, that's kind of a word picture there. What is he really saying? Reaping where you haven't sown, gathering where you haven't scattered seed. He's saying somebody else does the work sometimes that you benefit from. Sometimes you get to collect money from people who scattered seed and sowed the seed, and you come in and swoop in and then take the benefit. That's what he's saying. It's kind of a dig, man. That's not a great way to start off. And I see this all the time with the victim mentality. I see this all the time in my own life, in the lives of my clients that we try to overcome it, and in the lives of a lot of Instagram people and YouTube commenters too. I remember I made a post on or a YouTube video, a couple of videos back for the boys on this is how to attract a woman. Like you need these 2 things to attract a woman. And one of the commenters said, step 1, be attractive or something like that. It's like, bro, you're just like the 1 talent guy. You're the 1 talent guy saying, oh, you gotta have X, Y, and Z. That's it. The victim mentality looks at everybody that's winning and they assume, oh, they're doing something shady or they got some sort of unfair blessing that I don't have. That's the victim mentality. And I'm guilty of it sometimes, guys. The Lord is working on me. But we're looking at these other people saying, oh, they got something that I didn't have unfairly. And that's what the 1 talent dude says to his master. He says, hey, I know you're a hard dude. I know sometimes you be swooping in and collecting on other people's work. That's an insult, man. That's like, he's leading the whole thing with an insult. How ridiculous is that? You got the 5 talent guy, he's hustling. You got the 2 talent guy, he's hustling. They double up. They get the reward. The 1 talent guy, he buries it and he says, I was afraid because I'm not like you. I don't know how to do your feng shui, your hoodoo voodoo with somebody else is scattering the seed, but you're coming in and reaping the reward. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. That's what poor people say. That's what I say sometimes is like, oh, I don't know how to do my ads and internet marketing to like reel people in and emotionally manipulate. And I'm not like that. I'm not making millions of dollars a month because I'm not like that. Right? And that's what the scarcity mindset say. They say, oh, the rich, they don't pay any taxes and they're profiting off the backs of the poor and all these things, which, hey, I'm not saying there's not a little bit of truth to that. But there's also a lot of truth to the fact that your money can make you money. There's also a lot of truth to the fact that wise stewardship creates abundance. There's also a lot of truth to the fact that if you bury that, John, in the ground, it ain't doing anything. And that's what so many of us do. We sit there with our 1 talent, or even with our 2 talents or 3 talents, and we say, I don't want to fumble the bag, so I'm just going to sit on it. And I'm going to pout, and I'm going to wish I had more. Uh-huh. You been there? Are you there right now? Are you there right now? Are you sitting on your one talent? Maybe you've got a job you're not super excited about. Maybe you have not a lot of money. Maybe you have some debt. Maybe you are paycheck to paycheck. Or maybe you feel like your face is kind of busted. Maybe you got bad genetics and you're feeling unattractive. Maybe you see other guys, king of Riz, crushing it with the women, and you barely have the courage to say hello. And you're sitting there and you're judging everybody else. Or maybe you're doing better, you're doing okay, but you're complacent and you're comfortable and you're sitting on it and you're not growing it. This is all relevant here. And you're afraid. He said, verse 25, I was afraid. And I went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. He says, look, I hid it. It's still here. Congrats to me. I saved it. Here, you can have it back now. Imagine going to your grave, boys. Imagine going to your grave and entering into the pearly gates, judgment day. And I'm not saying this is not a theology of salvation, but I just want you to imagine you walk up and you say, God, you gave me X, Y, and Z, but I didn't really know how to use it. I was afraid I would fumble it, so I just buried it and I lived a full life without knocking on the door of my potential. Because that's going to happen. That's happening right here. That's happening right here. He says, the Lord answers and said to him, you wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. He said, brother, you knew I was like that. You knew I was a smart businessman. You knew that I could take profit over here and interest over there and dividends from here. You knew it. So, verse 27, you ought have to deposited my money with the bankers, and at my coming I would have received back my own with interest. Like bare minimum, he should have been putting it in a safe investment spot, not in the dirt. He called him wicked and lazy. Lord, may I not be wicked and lazy. Lord, may the boys watching this not be wicked and lazy. Some of us, the use of our talents looks like waking up on time. It looks like using the body that we have and getting stronger and not turning into a couch potato doom scrolling hunk of junk. For some of us, that's the next step, but it's not sexy enough. For some of us, it's having a hard conversation, whether that be saying hello to somebody or having a conflict resolution. For some of us, that means, and this is a shameless self-promotion, for some of y'all, that means waking up and realizing, oh, I've been stuck for years. I've been saying I'm going to fix XYZ thing, whether it's financial, whether it's physical, whether it's spiritual, relational. You've been saying you're going to fix that for years, if you're being honest, and you're in the same place that you've been for years, and you need to take a leap of faith and invest in a coach, somebody like me. I'm not saying it has to be me. I feel pretty good about what I do by the grace of God, but it doesn't have to be me. It just needs to be something that's going to shake you up and change you up, because you could live your whole life like the one talent guy. That's what people don't understand. People think Gandalf is going to come in and whisk you away on an adventure. They think that they're going to walk through a wardrobe into Narnia and find their true purpose. They think that Hagrid is going to come in and say, hey, you're a wizard, Harry, and swoop him away to Hogwarts and have this great adventure. No. You can die, you can reach the end with one talent, having wasted it all. Having set on it in the ground. You can die in that state, bro. It is 100% possible. And some of y'all need to be really honest with yourself and look back in the past. Sorry, boys, we had a camera glitch there. Ran out of storage. Should have checked that before. Some of y'all need to look back at the past 6 months, year, several years, and realize that you've been living sitting on your talent. That's the truth of it. For everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have an abundance. But from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. Oh Lord, may the men watching this, and myself included, not be the poor, wicked, and lazy servant. That's what he calls them, verse 26. You wicked and lazy servant. You keep saying that you're going to change, but will you? Guys, if you want to book a call with me, the link is below. And guys, this call is not a high-pressure sales call. That's not how I work. It's not what I do. On this call, we're going to talk about where you're at. We're going to identify some low-hanging fruit, see what we can do about it. And if I think it would be a good fit for us to work together, then I will suggest another call where we can talk about that. And then we can, if you want to. But if not, it's okay. And yeah, whatever the case may be, guys, I apologize for the camera glitch. It was one of those things where I didn't realize it until it was way too late, and I already spit another 10 minutes of sauce. But hey, what are you going to do? But keep moving forward. So that's what we're doing. This is for the boys, episode 30. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you feel a tug to book a call, man, do it. Do it. Don't wait. Some of y'all, this most recent client I have, having a great time with him. On the second call, he said, dude, I know we're not done yet because it's not a 2-call deal. He said, I know we're not even well into this yet, but hey, at the end of it, I would like to be one of your testimonials. He said that on the second call. But here's the thing. This homie, I'd been talking to him for over a year in the DMs because he found me through a workshop and he said, hey, I feel like this is kind of corny. This is kind of cringe, what you're doing. I had another guy, he just joined my Inner Circle men's group, and he's all, you know what, Luke, this is really cool, but before this, I kind of felt like a real man would just figure it out on his own. I'm like, yeah, that's what our ego wants us to think. And you know what? A lot of y'all watching this, you're feeling convicted, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to go change. I'm going to go do it myself. But again, look back in the past. How many times have you been convicted? How many times has a YouTube video fired you up, right? And I'm not saying that you can't change on your own. You can, in theory. But are you? Have you? Why haven't you? What's different about now? And even if you are changing, a lot of the guys I work with, they're already changing, but this helps them do it faster, better, more effectively. You got to be real with yourself, man. The Lord's timing is perfect. He uses all things together for our good. But ideally, you don't wait a year after you have the opportunity, only to take the opportunity and then say, oh, you know what? It's call number 2, but I already know I'm going to be a testimonial. Like, well, it would have been really cool for you to do that a year ago when you had another year to live, right? Like, not trying to be morbid here, but a lot of us are wasting time because our ego keeps saying, no, I'm going to pull myself up by my own bootstraps, right? A lot to think about, boys. Let me know in the comments below, thoughts or questions. Episode 30. Appreciate you. Take care.